Part number 2.
A mind is a terrible thing to waste. This slogan, coined by the United Negro College Fund more than 3 decades ago, is a call to action from everyone and anyone who is in a position to develop or change or alter the educational development of the mind of a child. And failure to do so constitutes the worst kind of nonviolent crime, because it all but ensures that that child will have difficulties in obtaining post-secondary education, meaningful employment, and having success in life. Parents, what you need to do is look for 3 important features when you're selecting a school for your child. And these features are a safe learning environment that allows a child to learn without fear, a nurturing environment that promotes connectedness that will last a lifetime for that child, as well as academic excellence that produces results wherein students strive for academic success. In a policy study conducted by the Reason Foundation in 1998, they found that school violence is a serious problem and that it continues to be a problem in public schools especially. And they suggest 3 methods by which school violence can be curbed. The first method is to promote discipline within a school setting that is safe and effective. And parents, you need to get on board with these policies so that there's open communication between the school and you, as well as your children, and so that expectations have been conveyed. Secondly, employing policies such as uniform code might help to reduce violence by reducing another source of conflict. In this case, you want to promote or make sure that that school is promoting a dress code that respects the individual of that child, the individuality of that child, but also that allows for tolerance and allows for those students to feel a sense of uniformity amongst one another. You can also ask your school or make sure that that school is involved in community partnerships such as the DARE program, which stands for Drug and Alcohol Resistance Education, in which community police officers go into the schools and teach these children how to avoid gangs and violence. You know, reducing school violence is one important thing that goes along with making that school environment safe for learning, but that's not enough. According to Makia Pollard, the founder and director of an independent school in St. Louis, Missouri, a school needs a nurturing atmosphere where that child feels that the teachers care for them. And when those children feel that those teachers care, when they're encouraged, what we find out from the Maryland State Educational Association is that that connectedness allows that child to feel like they're wanted, and by feeling like they're wanted, they have an improvement in their coping skills. And guess what? Improvement in coping skills has an inverse relationship then, if you will, with school delinquency. You know, once you've promoted a safe environment and you've improved the nurturing, there's still one more very important thing, and it has to do with teacher expectations for academic excellence in those students. Jerry Banberg of the North Central Regional Educational Laboratory conducted a study in 1992 wherein he looked at 2,378 school teachers from 87 urban schools. And they found some very disturbing things. First of all, only 25% of those students believed that their students would ever reach the academic national level for their grade. Of that number, of the total number that was surveyed, 59% disagreed that their students would be able to function at that level. Furthermore, the study showed that only 30% of those teachers felt that by the end of the school year, their children, their students, would even be at that academic grade level which they were in. And a whopping 59% felt their children would not meet the mark. Listen, teacher expectation is the key to all of this. You've got your safe environment, you've got a nurturing environment, and with that teacher expectation, those students know not only are they cared for, but that the teacher is investing time in their education and actually has standards that they want them to reach for. And this is what every parent should be looking for in the school. Teachers who acknowledge the unique learning abilities of the children and who take into consideration the unique situations of each child, such as the home environment and other challenges that those children may face. The National Center for Academic Fairness in Testing actually cautions against using standardized tests as a measurement for the effectiveness of the school. And that's because those standardized measurements do not take into consideration the unique situation of the children. And so the important thing you want to take away from this then is that you must ensure that your schools are holding themselves accountable for creating that safe environment and that nurturing environment that produces academic success in students based on teacher expectations. In a 2008 article by Time magazine, actually it was September 8, 2008, an article by Amanda Ripley found that there's a movie that's getting ready to come out. It's called Waiting for Superman. It's actually a documentary that comes out September 24th this year. And in that documentary, they actually, according to this author, will answer the question as to why it is that since 1971, the United States has doubled the money it spends on pupil education, and yet we still trail most rich nations in academic achievements in the areas of science and math. She goes on to say in her article that initiatives such as the George Bush's No Child Left Behind do help in improving measurements of academic excellence in schools. But I'll tell you, that may be a part of the solution, but it is no substitute for the three things you need to be looking for in a school: safety, a nurturing environment, and academic success in the education itself that's being foisted upon our children. As you leave here today, I want you to remember the words of Dr. Robin Cook, a physician and a novelist. Education is more than a luxury. It is a responsibility that society owes to itself.